what do you want to say about Summer Schultz and Friend? My favorite lady maker.
Is it Summer Schultz and Friends?
Mm-hmm. And all right, I got it.
Swing it. Let's go there.
All right, you ladies are ready to roll.
Oh my God.
3, 2.
Welcome to Columbus's #1 female entrepreneur show.
Oh, we're so successful.
614 Fempreneur. I am Michael Chaney, and I am here with JKW. What's happening?
Hey, it's Jen Kesselwhite here with Welcome Home 614, your favorite Columbus real estate agent, real estate investor, and all-around female entrepreneur advocate.
Dang.
And
I feel like your title gets longer and longer every week.
Don't worry about it. Mind your business. And I am here with Summer Schultz, and she is with Summer Schultz and Friends. And not only is she a lady maker, but she is just an all-around badass. Doug is going to be so mad at us today. I feel like curses are going to happen.
I'll try my hardest.
Okay.
To keep it in check.
Yeah, let's keep it in check.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, Summer, what's happening?
Oh man, I'm just excited to be here. Honestly,
We're super excited to have you. So I think that, first of all, when I was doing my 614 Fempreneur just on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Summer was my first.
Yeah.
My first 614 Fempreneur.
That's awesome. And look where we are now.
And we did not know each other. We knew of each other.
Yeah.
But we did not personally know each other. And now I'm happy to call you both my friend and my first 614 Fempreneur.
Absolutely.
I'm so honored.
That's awesome.
I'm
I'm
honored.
feeling it today. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about currently what you do. What does Summer Schultz and Friends mean?
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
So I'm a lady maker. Basically, anybody kind of calls me. They have either a problem that needs to be solved. Say they have some issues within their home. So a lot of it is space stuff.
Yeah.
So there's things that are not functioning for them, but they want something that's one of a kind, made for them. Nobody really likes to kind of go to IKEA anymore for furniture. They want something that is going to last and hopefully is an heirloom that they pass down. So I kind of meet with them and we come up with a plan. I come up with the design and we execute it. And whenever I get a chance, I include the people around me, my friends that are also creators and makers, whether they're welders, they do electrician work. We get some really neat LED lights and stuff.
That's interesting.
That's
I did
amazing.
not know that your and friends meant that you were just literally picking out your friends in the community and utilizing them. So very cool.
That's super cool. Do you ever need anything painted?
Yeah, heck yeah. Absolutely. I didn't know you were into painting.
No drip painting.
We can
She
talk
is
more
the
about
owner.
that later.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I did.
And so you make things.
That's what I do. I make things, anything from dining room tables to more recently I did this fancy, I don't know how to
Are
explain.
you going to say a trash bin?
Yeah.
I was hoping you were going to talk about the trash bin. Oh my gosh, I just got so excited.
It is just like a fancy trash house.
Have you ever been mesmerized by a trash bin before? I don't think so, but I have. Because I watched this lovely young gentleman show off Summer's creation.
I saw that.
It was stellar.
Sweet.
I've
nailed that.
never seen anything so beautifully done that holds garbage.
Thank you.
Amen.
That
So,
was
yes.
the goal. That was the goal.
Yeah, like you really have a skill. Do you view it like that?
Yeah. I hope so. Right? Yeah. No, I absolutely do. It's always been. It's weird sometimes when you're in your own profession and you think some things are like. How do you want to say it? Just makes perfect sense to you. You're like, oh, that's easy to do, right? Like certain painting stuff. Like you're like, I know exactly how to approach that. It'll be totally fine. But not everybody's brain thinks that way. So then they come to me and then they say stuff. I'm like, oh. Yeah, I could totally do that. And even if it's not something that I've come across before, I trust in my ability to create solutions.
You're a problem solver.
Yeah,
heck yeah, that stuff.
And
just
if
gets
you
me
don't
jammed
know
up.
it, you're just like, I'm going to figure it out.
Heck yeah.
I remember when you talked about the different like herringbone that you did in the table for the dining room table, which is just, I cannot compliment her work enough. I'm so in love with it.
Thank you.
And you have to make me a piece soon.
For
sure.
I would love it.
Okay,
Whatever you need.
So Summer's like, I had no idea. I thought it would be something we could do, and then it wasn't as easy as we assumed. And I mean,
it was such a challenge. It was an expandable herringbone table, and I was going up against a couple different people for this bid, and I was like, I got to do something way different. And I was like, he wants an expandable table, but herringbone. I haven't really seen that. But in my head,
Super cool.
everybody has always done something already, so I'm like, I probably could find some type of plan or something
Right.
online, and kind of, basically change it however I need to. But to get that template, there was no template online.
It's
at
an
all.
original.
It was totally an original, and I'm like, oh, this makes me a little nervous. Nobody's done this before, which means this is probably going to be exceptionally challenging, and it was. But I know exactly how I would execute that better now.
Next time,
Yeah, but it just
Did
it
you
turned out
leave a
beautifully.
plan for other people in the future to find online?
I haven't. I totally should, though.
Yeah, because I mean, let's pay it forward, right?
Yeah,
Heck
maybe we
yeah.
can start by attaching it to this video on our Facebook page.
That would
Oh,
be dope.
that would be a great
For
idea.
starters.
Absolutely.
So let me ask you, so you talk about how you're nervous because it's something you never had done before.
Yeah.
So how did you even get the courage to launch a business like this? Because you're constantly taking risk. You have to present basically your work for someone else to judge on a regular.
All the time, yeah. No, so in the beginning, I was always that person that everybody came to. I have something, can you do this? Yes, yes, yes. And then I couldn't keep up with the workflow. I was still, I was an operations manager for RCO Limited. I loved my job. I really did.
For how long?
I was with the company for 5 years.
Yeah.
I was with them for a long time. And I climbed the ladder, got up there, and I love that company. RCO Limited is Raising Cane's.
Okay.
So I was a training advisor for them, then went into an operations manager. And I just absolutely love my job, but I was like, it's kind of like that dream that you always have.
Yeah.
Like, can I achieve this? I've always created, I've always painted, I've always done all these different things. I'm like, maybe I can make this my full-time job because I can't keep up with the flow right now. So I went back and forth months, and my one buddy, we were sitting outside my apartment complex, and there is like a second level where there is a balcony, if you may.
Yeah.
And he's talking to me, and he's like, you know what, you just need to take the leap. And he does this hardcore parkour stuff and leaps over
Oh, wow.
this thing and literally ducks and rolls. I'm talking about like 15 feet, all right? I was so nervous. I was like screaming. It was horrible.
Yeah.
And he landed, and he was totally fine. And at that point, I'm like, well, now I kind of have to take the leap
Right.
because he just literally took the lead.
The leap, yeah.
But no, I went back and forth with my wife, talked about it, and the worst thing, finally, the last thing that's in my head, the worst thing that could happen is I fail miserably, and I get a job.
Yeah.
But at least I know, and the last thing I
Absolutely.
want to do is be that bitter old lady
I
looking at my
know.
wife and my family and be like, I could have been.
Right.
I think about that all the time. Like, what's going to be my perception on my life when I'm in my 80s?
Yeah.
Am I going to look back and wish, damn, I wish I would have done this, and that, or why didn't I? Or why didn't I try something new or different? Or take your fears and just throw them out the window? Because
Totally.
the last thing I want is regret because I stopped doing something due to a fear.
Mhm.
I'll take regret because I made a mistake, but I don't want it to be, and that's always like a learning opportunity.
Right.
But I don't want it to. I don't want to look back and go, damn, like
I wish I would have.
Yeah, I wish I would have.
Right.
Yeah.
Because
And-
I'll be so mad at myself.
Totally.
You know?
And have you guys experienced like this feeling of once you realize you can make money for yourself without a company behind you? I feel like for me, it just like gave me so much freedom because I know at the end of the day, I can always paint or I can always build something. It's like a super confidence driver, I think.
It is. It's amazing when, things are going really, really well and you're like, holy crap, I totally just did that
Yeah.
all by myself.
Yeah.
It's weird how you can just say, and I've said this so many times recently, like the past 3 months, I can like shout it from the rooftops, but I've always cared so much about money when someone else was paying me it.
Right.
And as soon as I went into my own career, it was the first time ever where I was like, the money will come because I'm happy, I'm confident, I'm successful because I work hard.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm in control of it all. So I don't even I'm not fixated on money anymore.
It just works out.
It just happens.
Yep.
That's great. I battle with that. It's the manifestation of it, right? That law of attraction. Like,
Yeah.
I deserve these things. Good things are coming to me. But then there's that accountability of like, I am the only person responsible
Right.
for this to succeed. And that's a different type of weight. But there's I think there's just kind of like the highs and the lows.
It's pressure.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned something about your wife and your family and all that.
Mhm.
How important has it been that you have a support system?
Oh man, Leanne is my stability at all case, right? She's just it for me. And I remember the first 6 months or so, I was like, I don't know if I can do this. This is not going to work. And I'm like, I want to make sure that I'm here for you. And she's like, hold on, time out. You don't get to put me in this mix as if I am the reason why you're going to quit and go back to the job that you were doing.
I love that.
She's like, this is you. You have my support. You
Right.
you can completely do this. But don't you throw my name in there.
You know what? I'm so glad you mentioned her wife, because I love your guys' love.
Aw, thank you.
I do. Like, you guys are a constant support system for each other, and it is so uplifting to see that. Like, I love it. You guys are good.
She's fantastic.
Mhm.
She's it just doesn't make any sense to me sometimes. I'm like, how the heck did I land
I know.
this?
You must have, I don't know, you did something good for
Right?
somebody.
Right? I'm a really good cook. Really
Right.
funny.
Well,
Kinda
and you
looks
can
like-
build things.
Yeah, and I can
that
build
has to
stuff.
help,
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I owe her a dining room table. That poor girl has just watched me make beautiful things for everybody else around us, and I do. I need to.
You better make that dining room table
execute that
ASAP.
dining room table.
So
for
one
sure.
thing Jen and I have talked a lot about, especially when you're just getting started in a business, is how you find clients.
Yeah.
And that, I think, sometimes will keep people from taking the plunge and going
Mhm.
out on their own. So you find, how do you get your clients?
I tell you what, I'm super blessed. I'm currently still on a referral basis, but I think at any point in any job relationship and building that with clients or finding them is being a good person. And if you're a good person throughout that whole experience, it's going to come back to
Right.
you. Whether you're kind, respectful, quick to respond, flexible, right, to a certain extent, whatever you need to make that what the client wants. But I am fantastically blessed in the way that I haven't had to search yet.
Right.
But it's people talking about their experience with me, and not just that, but also the piece that I've made for them. But yeah, referral.
Do you
has
feel like
been
social
fantastic.
media has
Yeah, social
done
media's
that
been
when
great.
when your clients share
Yes.
your items?
Yes, yeah, and it's when I share, that's usually like as soon as I put up a post, it's like within that day I've got 3, 4, 5 people
Wow.
reaching out to me.
Amazing.
Were you ever like at a point where you didn't want to share your things on social media?
Yeah, because I'm not ready for the customer flow.
or just like, have you ever felt like you don't want to be judged on that front? Has that ever been something you've worried about?
Oh man, I think we're our own worst critics, right? So like when I see pieces out there, that's a great question. When I see my piece, like I can pinpoint every single thing that is not perfect.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh God, they'll see it.
Right.
So I'll bring in my wife, I'll bring in my friends, and I'm like, tell me what you see. I'm
Yeah.
like, what do you think? And they're like, they don't see it. They never
Right.
see it. I always see it.
Yeah.
My wife did point out something to me last week, which was perfect. I was making this kind of like a entryway organizer,
Mm-hmm.
right, for people. And it was a triangle, and I was like trying to figure out if I wanted to flip it. And I was like, how do you feel about this way? And she's like, I'm gonna tell you something. You're not gonna be able to unsee it. I'm like, no, you gotta tell me.
Yeah.
You gotta tell me. And she's like, it looks like a piece of pizza. And I'm like, yes,
Was
it
she
does.
right?
Yeah, it looked like a total piece of pizza. And I'm like, this poor client is gonna be like, why am I craving pizza? This like
all
6
the
months
time.
and all
Every
the
time I walk in my house, I want to eat pizza.
Exactly. But yeah, no, for sure. There's definitely been some things that I haven't been 110% confident in posting where I'm like, Like I actually have I have a couple paintings that I did that now when I'm looking at them, I'm very, very proud of them. But I was in a specific space in my head when I was creating them where I was not, wasn't feeling it. So I haven't posted it yet.
That's interesting.
Maybe out there. That's a great
So, I mean, that is actually like a whole nother level, I feel like, because whatever space you are in your head can totally reflect what you're creating.
Mhm.
And in your case, you can look at that picture and say, oh, I know where I was in that head
Yeah.
at that time, and now maybe
It's a whole.
I don't know how I feel about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Where someone else would never even,
That's
never done. That's
that's
like a whole nother level.
That is another level. That is very like artist driven. Like
Yeah,
I bet that
totally.
happens all the time. And yeah.
It was with that painting when I put it up because I showed it to a lot of people prior. And I'm like, tell me how it makes you feel. And they were getting the response that they were feeling. It wasn't anything that I was feeling, which was great because
Right.
I was trying to process some stuff. I was trying to
Yeah.
process some stuff, which is it can be very, very therapeutic. That's what I love about painting.
Yeah, totally.
Because you get to it's methodic, right? You get to a point where like you're just doing the motion. But it brought them joy. It actually, one of my friends, like, it feels healing, and I'm like, that's awesome.
It's very cool.
That's awesome.
Amazing.
Cool.
Yeah.
So that kind of brings me to another question about one of your biggest motivational factors for yourself and owning your own business is self-care.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to us a little bit about that, because I know you feel very strongly that you need to take care of yourself and be happy in order to, because you and I spoke about like different times where you can experience anxiety and things like that. And I'm always like, what do you do during that? And what's your outlet, and how do you take care of yourself?
Yeah. So I'm a huge believer in therapy. My favorite type of therapy is cognitive behavioral therapy. What I like about it is it speaks reason to you.
Right.
Because it's not like, let's dive deep into when you were an infant and this happened to you and, you know, how we can deal with that. I'm like, I'd rather not.
Yeah.
Because bottom line, things are going to still happen to you.
Yeah.
So if you could teach me, like, techniques of how to deal with that kind of stuff, that's what I'm looking for, is long-term solutions. Because it doesn't matter. The older we get, the more ish we're going to have to deal with.
Absolutely. Ooh, ish.
I tried so hard to
That
say.
was so good. I'm super proud of you.
Felt great. So no, I regularly do therapy check-in with my lady. That gives me just like an hour to. Some weeks are tough where I forget to honestly take care of myself, and that you lose yourself in just like the normal functioning of work, life, home, relationship, family, all these different things. So that's go-to for
Same
sure.
for me. I go every other week, and it's very we do some meditation, we do breathing work, and then we get to talk, and it just gives me an outlet to talk to someone. And I mean, you just like refresh, right?
Yes, absolutely. Meditation is huge. I notice if I'm having a rough week, I'm like, when was the last time I meditated?
Yeah.
It will change your whole. I meditate. I try to do it every single night. I'm probably about 75% execution.
Good for you.
That's it. Glenn Harold app. The app is fantastic.
Glenn Harold.
I don't know that one. Are you guys familiar with Headspace?
I keep hearing
I
about
like
Headspace.
I thought Headspace was fine. You have to pay for it to get like all the.
You do.
What does Glenn Harold give you? And is it HAROLD?
What did you? Oh yeah, I'm like, what are you spelling right now? Yes, exactly. 2 N's, and then normal Harold.
Okay.
So it's it gives you a couple free ones, and just a meditation. You can do anything from quit smoking to fear and guilt, to anxiety, mindfulness, law of attraction, success. Like there's so many different things you can get. It'll give you a couple free ones, and then each meditation, I want to say it's anywhere from like $1.99 to $2.99.
Okay.
And you can set up a little playlist, but they have sleep endings, awake endings, all this different stuff. But I love him, and his voice is nice.
That's important.
Very cool.
Yes, it is important. It's always
Do
weird.
you ever try and listen to a meditation tape, and all of a sudden someone gets on and they're like, "Hello," and you're like, "No,
Yeah.
what is going on here?"
Not your
Or
voice.
like an audiobook.
It's like,
not.
oh, man, I'm not gonna be able to listen to it because of your voice.
Yeah.
Yes, no, for sure. But have you ever heard of the love languages, the 5 love languages?
Of course, I know them all.
Right? So I had this like profound moment with my therapist where, because we were talking about self-care and how it is a challenge for me. She's like, what are your love languages? And I'm like, well, currently, because they change, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm words of affirmation and quality time. She's like, okay, so how about you giving yourself some self-love in that language? And I was like,
yeah,
whoa.
mind blown.
I'm like, you wouldn't think it was that challenging to like think about it in that way, but it.
Oh, because when you think of yours, you never think of. I've taken my love language multiple times for both business partners and for personal, and you never think about it for yourself.
Right.
You always think someone else is going to satisfy that for you.
Right.
So what's an example of something you've figured out to do for that? Yeah,
so I basically give myself the words of affirmation. I've noticed that I tend to be a little work heavy during the week. So like, you're smart, you're intelligent, I'll write them down. You're very capable, you're driven. So I give myself those words of affirmation. And then when it comes to like personal, I've been trying to focus more on like my personal life and family. So like, you are a good partner, you're a good listener, you're supportive. And then the quality time, During the day, like I try to take a good lunch.
Nice.
Just actually sit and unplug
Yeah,
and just
totally.
relax, because it's so working and eating it just became a habit.
I think it
Yeah.
happens for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Totally.
just completely check
Especially
out.
when you're busy or on the
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, you gotta figure it out. You
You
gotta
do.
figure it out. And then if there's any opportunity for me to like go do something fun, so sometimes at the shop there are there's other people there, and like on Tuesdays are our favorite days. It's Taco Tuesday, dollar tacos,
Okay,
Nice.
Right on.
So
Right.
it is like a taco truck come over. Yes, nice.
delicious. But then there's sometimes the boys will skateboard or they'll do archery. So if they're doing those things, like I'll stop, give myself 20 minutes or so to go play.
Cool.
Yes. Good.
Where's your shop at?
Over by the airport, it's called Cloud House.
Okay.
It's basically, I'm sure you guys have heard of the Idea Foundry.
Yeah,
Yep.
totally.
It's a smaller version of that, a little bit more close-knit. There was a group of guys who were all makers, creators, and they all had full-time jobs, and they're like, I really want a space to like
Yeah.
make and
Yeah.
create. So they all got together and got this space and found some members,
I
and
love that.
it's awesome.
I love the whole concept even of Idea Founder. Anything like that is amazing.
You just learn from others and grow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even co-working spaces, it
Totally.
never hurts to be like, hey, what do you do? Why, like, what's
Yeah.
going on?
And it's like we've talked before about being an entrepreneur sometimes can be super lonely.
Right.
But-
So lonely.
But those spaces still allow the connection
Yeah,
that
it's like
you
I have
don't
coworkers.
have when you work for yourself.
Right.
So do you have like your own equipment there, your own tools? Like how does that work?
Yeah, so I've got some things that I've brought in
Okay.
with me, but for the most part, they supply the big
Provide
stuff.
the big stuff.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
so
cool.
I mean, table saw,
That's amazing.
panel saw.
That's pretty
So,
sweet
yeah.
because probably for you, I mean, my guess is you're going to be able to use some tools and equipment that you might not necessarily be able to have on your own right now.
Yeah, absolutely. That in the space, you don't usually think about how challenging it is when you're working on a big piece and you are in a room
Yeah.
compared to a giant warehouse. Just like taking a piece
Right.
of equipment,
I
putting it back on the
totally get
table,
it.
putting it back down. It is a pain in the butt.
It
so to
is.
be able to have that space,
We spray like a lot of doors and stuff off site, and I don't have a good space for it. I like rent different spaces, but it can be a challenge.
you can always $35 a
There
month
you
at
go.
Cloud House.
See?
There you are.
go.
That's a great price.
It's
Totally.
fantastic
Like, that
price.
price is pretty stellar.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
You don't rent equipment or anything like that. You just come in, you have some fun, you enjoy yourself.
I love it.
Yeah.
So, Summer, let's talk to our entrepreneurs out there that are getting ready or taking the jump into their own business or want to. Give them some advice of like your highs, your lows, or your wins.
Yeah.
I'm sure everybody experiences an L now and then.
Yeah, it does. But I tell you that when it comes to the L's, it's all perception.
Yep.
It's all in your head, right? Like there's not really any failures, it's only learning. So you're definitely your own worst enemy in any of this scenario, but as long as you're gentle with yourself, you forgive yourself, you take the lesson and you keep on moving,
Right.
Then you're in good shape. But for the most part, anybody that's kind of starting off in this scenario doesn't really know what the heck they're doing.
Yeah.
We're trying,
Right.
and even if we have a business degree or we've been in some type of business where we feel like we've had that experience, there are new things that are happening all the time. So to be open to that lesson, to that education, but also research. Like I research the crap out of stuff. Whether if it's a piece that I'm doing, a new wood, like get hip on what's happening
Yeah.
and what's trending
That's
right now.
a good point. Like, how do you stay in tune with
Yeah.
things that are like cutting edge? And I mean, I work with designers all the time, and like I'm amazed by some of the things they're doing. So how do you stay in tune with all that?
Yes, I love me some Pinterest.
Yeah.
Oh my
Pinterest
gosh.
is a good one.
Right?
It just makes me weak at the knees. It really does.
Yes.
I love me some Pinterest, but honestly, Instagram has also been huge.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a giant adult picture book.
It is. And I love it. I love Instagram.
You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah,
a picture
we
book,
know.
a yearbook, stuff like that. But I follow a lot of. I didn't really understand hashtags, to be honest. Like when I got in this
Yeah.
stuff, but I didn't realize that you could even like follow a hashtag.
Yeah.
I was not.
I don't
was
fully
not.
understand them. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but once you start following them, you get to find people that you either want to like look up to, be around, be inspired by.
Right.
And then you can start building relationships with those people if they're
Yes.
local as well. And if not, you're still getting all of that insight.
Yes,
you know?
absolutely,
It's amazing.
for sure. Like hashtag woodworking, I'm all over that all day. Like honestly, all over it because I'm seeing the new stuff come in, but I'm also seeing challenges and stuff that people have come across, and
Right.
they're talking about them, which just makes me really excited for that. But no, it's and like you were saying, surrounding yourself with people. I think my friend Tori always she learns from somebody or somewhere. You're basically a sum of the 5 people that you surround
Absolutely.
yourself with,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And so wherever you want to be, get next to that
Right.
person
Right.
that you want to be, and then you automatically will be elevated.
Totally.
I have to tell
I
you
love
something. I talk about you a lot, and you don't even know it, but I'm going to tell you why. So when I first got into my industry, I was extremely nervous on social media, on everywhere, just to put myself out there. I was uncomfortable, and I kept on seeing like your post, and you inspired me to be a better person to others, to show
Aw.
people, and absolutely to show people like, hey, here's what I'm doing, here's what's going on, because I watched you and your moves, and I was like, okay, this girl's got something, like I'm gonna do things like she's doing.
Hope I appreciate
That's
that.
awesome.
High five, man.
Yeah, man.
Summer, tell everybody how to get in touch with you.
Yeah. So easiest way is actually Instagram. So at @summer_Schultz. And then in my little bio, you'll see a link. So if you're looking to have a piece done by me, you can follow that link and kind of put a little inquiry of what it is that you're looking for. Really easy, takes no more than 2 or 3 minutes to finish. And direct message is always a solid.
Awesome.
Solid
You know it does go down in the DM.
I do. It's
Michael.
usually about wood here.
Hey, Michael, how do we get in hold of you?
Well, here's what I want to put out there. We are still looking for female entrepreneurs to join this show. So hit us up on 614 Fempreneur. That's our Facebook page. Jen,
Yes.
someone needs to buy a house, sell a house. How do they get in touch with the best realtor?
Oh my goodness gracious! I'm so glad you asked. Go to Instagram, Welcome Home 614. Don't forget to follow our YouTube page. Well, my YouTube page that we'll have these episodes aired on. Jennifer Kessel White, KESSEL-WHITE. And when you're looking for us on Facebook, make sure that you search 614 FEMPRENEUR.
Wow.
You've got so
Boom.
good at that.
Good for you.
Summer, thank you so
Feeling
much
it.
for joining us.
Thank
You're
you
awesome.
so much for having me.
Summer, we love you.
I love
All right,
you.
until next time.
Thank you.
Thanks.